Hello everyone, this is Banu Teja. Welcome to my YouTube channel SAP EWM Vlog. Today I am back with one of the special video, that is how to configure Qrfc connection in SAP. Okay, so here we go. So what is Qrfc? So Qrfc is nothing but Q remote functional call. Okay, it is called Q remote functional calling. Remote functional call. Okay, so whatever the data which we configure and whatever data which we make the transaction will be moved from one server to another server using this Qrfc connection. Okay, so before that I want to explain the structure of S4 HANA EWM embedded system. Okay, so here coming to 2025 S4 HANA, in the market EWM is coming from embedded system. Okay, let us consider this is one of the device. Okay, so here we are having S4 system and EWM system. Okay, in S4 system we make a certain module configurations like MM, material management, sales and distribution, production planning, quality management, finance and controlling, etc. Okay, so coming to EWM, see, we are having EWM instance. Okay, EWM instance. So here these both are clubbed with each other. Okay, here this both are clubbed in one server. Okay, whereas in, this is called as centralized. Okay, this is called as centralized system or embedded system. Okay, or embedded system. Okay, so here in as for ERP side, whatever the data will be configured should be automatically transferred to the EWM server, and whatever the transactions we execute like inbound delivery, outbound delivery, okay, so other type of transactions will be have to be disputed automatically from S4 HANA to EWM system. How it will be transferred? Using the queues. Okay, using the Qrfc connection. So whenever we are doing the outbound delivery, whenever we are creating purchase order and outbound delivery, so this will be transported to the EWM system, and here will be EWM and GRN and put away will be created, and after that GRN will be automatically fluctuated to the automatically reflected to the S4 system. So based on the help of queues, RFC connection, Qrfc connection. Similarly for sales also, if you create a sale order and after that if you create outbound delivery, it will be reflected to the EWM. So after output is done, picking, packing, staging, loading, and goods issue will also be done in EWM, and the goods issue document will be reflected to the S4 system. Okay, so that is the basic introduction of this S4 HANA EWM embedded system. Now let us go to the configuration. Okay, so let us log in into the SAP. So here I am going into the server, and here enter your user ID, enter the password, and press enter. Okay, so here my first step is have to execute the transaction code SPRO, SAP project reference object. SPRO. Let's enter. Here click on SAP reference IMG implementation guide. Okay, implementation guide.
So after that, navigate to integration with other SAP components. Okay, click on the top down. So here we have to select this drop down extended warehouse management. And here the first step is maintain basic settings for system landscape. Okay, and here click on this drop down, and here we have to execute the first option. First setting is name logical system. Execute. Okay, so basically the transport request will be not generated for this one. Okay, so why it will not create the transport request means whatever the technical team, like a basis team, will configure this requirement and it will save it in the workbench. Okay, so here already I have created the logical system. Okay, this is A4H client 100, and also we have to create the dummy system for EWM. Okay, A4H EWM 100. Okay, now come back. So the next step is assign logical system to the client. Execute. So here I have created the new connection. That means I maintain the client code is 100. Okay. So this for my logical system for S4 HANA ERP side, and this is my another client 400 for EWM server side. Okay. Already I have created this connection. Come back. So actually these connections will be made by basis consultant, but we need to know the minimum sample knowledge of this connection. Okay, and this activity will be maintained by the basis consultant. It's not mandatory to us. And set up RFC destination. So here go to above connections. So here I created the new connection that is for S4 HANA side, S4 HANA ERP side. Okay, so here already I maintained this connection A4H client. So here you can see I maintain the description. Connection type is above connection, and we have to maintain the technical settings input. Okay, the target system is A4H. You can see here. So this is my actual system, and the server is okay. This is the server and this is the group. Okay, and login security. So we have to maintain the login security credentials, whatever we are going to working on. So we have to mention the language and the client number and the password status. Okay. So after that, so click on connection text. So I maintain the logon connection text is 30 milliseconds, and another connections is about certain timings. Come back. Now if you click on remote logon, okay, you can see. So I can go to the number of sections. Okay, successfully we have maintained. So now we have to maintain for EWM side. Okay, this is a dummy client. This is the dummy client, and so double click on this. So here click on log on security. So here also we have maintained the connection. If you click on remote logon, for where it is connecting, it is connecting to A4H. Okay, so here this server is being connected to this S4 HANA. So these are both are clubbed to each other. Okay, even if you execute a BD64, okay, not BD64, I think BD97, sorry, SF59. Even if you execute SM59, so here you can use a transaction code to make these connections. Okay. Okay. So same connections we can see here, transaction. So another step is assign RFC connection, RFC destination to the different application cases. Okay. So this also will be maintained by these basis consultant. And now coming to basic systems of basic settings for data transfer. This one also will be maintained by basis consultant. So no need to go here. Now coming to basic settings for EWM linkage. Okay. Here I'm going to execute the configuring SAP EWM specific parameters and navigate to our ERP warehouse. Click on position. So what is my ERP warehouse? So it's belong to the Access ERP warehouse, ASV. Okay. So here we have to maintain it as extended warehouse management. Okay. Here the connection should be extended warehouse management. Okay. So I am selecting this drop down as a EWM because I'm not using as a local warehouse management. I have to use this warehouse as an EWM warehouse. Okay. Extended warehouse management. Okay. Now distribution mode. So after if you create the purchase order, when I come into the procurement, if you create the purchase order and inbound delivery, okay. So after inbound delivery is completed, and so the document must be immediately distributed to the EWM side, EWM server. Okay. So in this case, I have to maintain the distribution mode as first option. This one here. Distribution immediately at document creation. Okay. So if you want to maintain the second one, in which cases we maintain the second option means you receive the materials from the vendor and we have to analyze how much quantity has been received and we have to check how much quantity has been received to your warehouse. Then only we should create this distribute this inbound document to the EWM manually. In that cases, the document will be transported to the queues. So later we can release the queues manually, and then the document will be released to the EWM server. Okay. In that cases, I use the second option. But now I'm by default 90%, 99% in the real business scenarios, we are using the first option, distribution immediately at document creation, and unchecked deliveries. If I enable this checkbox, you are having the planning. How many materials should be received and how many materials should be stored. So that kind of activities can be made. That means resource planning. That means resource planning can be made using this checkbox, and batch determination from EWM. So if you want to generate the batch from EWM side, then you can enable the checkbox. Okay. If you want the batch number should be generated from the extended warehouse management level, then you can enable the checkbox. GR from EWM. So whenever SAP in SAP side, uh, in SAP S4HANA side, we are creating the purchase order, and after that we are creating the inbound delivery. The inbound delivery will be distributed to the EWM server. EWM server. So we are creating the unloading, and after unloading of this material into our warehouse, the material will be uh, the material will be transferred to the GR staging area. In that cases, GR goods set will be created from the EWM side. Okay. So if you want to generate the GR from the EWM side also, in these cases you can enable the checkbox. And queue and serialized asynchronous. Okay. So coming to this option, so in which cases we select this queue and serialized asynchronous communication. So we are having two type of communications. One is synchronous and asynchronous. Asynchronous means whenever we create purchase order, we create the inbound delivery. Immediately it will be distributed to the EWM, and it will create the EWM related activities. So when coming to synchronous, it comes under the batch jobs. Okay. So whenever we create the number of deliveries, so for one batch job, it will be generated one EWM it will be generated the work for one distribution. For another batch job, it will do for another distribution. Okay. So here also 99% we will use the queued and serialized asynchronous RFC, because whenever the inbound delivery or outbound delivery is created from the ERP side, it will be immediately reflected to the EWM side. Okay. Delivery change. Delivery change means even after the EWM side, I mean whenever inbound delivery or outbound delivery has been distributed to the EWM server, EWM client. So if you enable this checkbox, you even can change the data in S4HANA ERP side. Okay. And serialized numbers also by default is given here. That means serial numbers will be generated from the warehouse management level. Okay. So here we have maintained entire settings for our warehouse as a ERP warehouse. So again, I'm repeating one thing. If you want to generate the batch from EWM only, if you want to generate the batch from EWM only, in this case, you can enable this. You can enable this checkbox. No, I want to generate. No, if you disable the checkbox, it can generate. That means it can be initiated at ERP side or EWM side. Now coming to GRM from EWM only. So if you want to generate the goods receipt from the EWM side only, then in this case you can enable this checkbox can be initiated. Otherwise, if you want to generate at both levels, that means ERP level and EWM level, you can untick this checkbox. Okay. Now save it. Okay. Now come back. So define queues for transfer of to EWM. So this also will be maintained by S4 business consultant. Now generate distribution model. So if you execute this option, so here whatever the data is being initiated from the S4 side, it should be immediately distributed to the EWM side, and from EWM side it should be initiated to the S/4HANA side. Okay, for this one we have to maintain the distribution model. Okay, okay. So whenever we are transferring any type of document, okay, the as it is information should be replicated to the EWM side. Okay, so whenever we are creating outbound delivery, so after creation of goods issue from the EWM side, the same should be replicated to the S/4HANA side. So how this can be possible? Using BAPI application. BAPI. So we have to create the BAPI. So this type of replication can be done to the BAPI process. This should be achieved by business model. Okay, business model will help to control this BAPIs. Okay, so let us go through it. So here I'm going to generate distribution model for transaction data to transfer to SAP EWM side. Execute. So here enter AUV, our ERP warehouse number. Okay, you can also check here. Okay, so our assets warehouse. Okay, ASV, sorry, ASV, and Rosco system is Rosco system of SAP EWM is A4 EWM 100, and distribution model view is EWM. Okay, so now click on execute. This is a one-time activity. This is also called as cutover activity. Okay, so execute. So here the protocol should come as okay. Then only our distribution will be successful. Okay, so now come back. Now here I go to the new window and execute BT64. Okay, so here you can check it whether our distribution model will be existed or not. Where is our warehouse? Then have to check here. So here you can see in Rosco system for the client 100. Go to the Rosco system for EWM 100. Go to the inbound delivery change. Go to receiver determination filter active. Filter group and warehouse number. Here you can see our access ERP warehouse will be created. Okay. So here you can check our warehouse has been existed here. Okay. So now come back. So after successfully checking of this warehouse number in BT64, so we have to assign the RFC connections. Okay. So in these cases, we have to execute the transaction code BD97. So we have to assign the RFC connections using the transaction code BD97. Okay. So here, yeah, you can see here under A4H client, we are having our A4 EWM 100 client server. Click on this. So here we have to assign the RFC connections. Okay, here we have to assign the client. So here successfully already we have assigned. Okay. So if you're not assigned, you can click on new connection and you can maintain it. Okay. So now come back. So now another step is go to SPRO. go to sorry, and here go to integration with other SAP components, and here go to extended warehouse management, and here we select the assign warehouse number to EWM warehouse number. Okay, so now click on position. So enter S4HANA ERP warehouse number ASV. Okay, so here we have to enter our EWM warehouse number which is created before. So what is our warehouse number? ASWH. Okay, this is our warehouse number. Now click on save it. So we have done assignment of ERP warehouse number to EWM warehouse number and save it. Now come back, close this, and next thing is go to SCM EWM, supply chain management, extended warehouse management. So here click on extended warehouse management, go to interfaces, go to ERP integration, and go to general settings. So here we have to create the own business system. This will be created by basis consultant, and define business system. This also will be created by basis consultant. Now coming to EWM side. So what EWM consultant have to do here? Assign warehouse numbers from the logistic execution. If you execute this one, so we have to maintain our both combinations of SAP ERP warehouse number, okay, and EWM warehouse number and business system. For suppose from which business system we are getting product master data, okay, or material master data. For example, from which system I am getting the master data from this system, right? So for this one business system will be maintained. Okay, but when coming to decentralized system, we have to maintain the connection here. Okay, so we have to create the business system, and we have to assign it to the ERP warehouse number and EWM warehouse number. When coming to EWM embedded, we don't need to mention that one. Okay, now click on new entries, enter ASW, ASV, add this ERP warehouse number, and also assign the access central EWM warehouse number. Now press enter and click on save it. Click on continue. Now assign business partner to the plant. Okay. So business partner means party entitled to dispose. Okay. So he is the person who will dispose the material from the warehouse. So we have to maintain the party entitled to dispose in the business partner creation. That means vendor creation. To execute BP, there you have to create the business partner. So system will generate the business partner number, and that we have to assign here. Okay. So click on new entries, enter the plant ASVG, enter the ERP logical system. So our ERP logical system is this one. Okay. A4H client 100, and dispersal party is, so if you go to mkvz, I can find the code, execute mkvz, here enter the purchase organization and click on execute. See, here is my party until to disperse, and we have to maintain this code. Okay, and navigate to the previous screen. So here enter ASUS dash ED and press enter. Now click on save it. Okay, so control for RFC queues, this will be maintained by basis team. So no need to configure this. And also this 2 also will be maintained by basis team only. These 2 options will be executed by basis team. Middleware processing. Goose movement type. Okay. Now coming to goose movements, execute map store locations from ERP system to EWM system. Okay. So here we have to map our store locations also. So click on new entries, enter the plant. So receive on dock ROD. We have to enter the logical system, warehouse number, ASWH, availability group is 001. Okay, similarly for available for sale, this is the store location of ERP site. Enter this logical system, enter the availability group as 002. Come back. So successfully we maintained the connections of the warehouse store location to the warehouse and availability group and party entered to dispose. Okay, and so now the configuration is being completed. Okay, so these are the main points and configuration activities of the RFC connections, QRFC connections. Okay, so hope you have liked this video. So if you like the video and if you have enjoyed the video, please like it, share it and subscribe to my channel. Again, we will connect with new other video. Okay, thank you very much guys.